So hello, I'm going to be responding to these sketches so that you have an idea in what direction to go to. Right now I'm looking at Jess's sketch, and Janice is talking about cross-hatching. Um, so I'd like to remind you that this assignment is black and white. So I really would like you to um, um, you know, understand that this is going to be black and white, and that it's not going to be um, any, like anything else, right? And so, what else I want to talk about is, let me see if this is going to work. Well, you have these areas, right? I think you're indicating them as lines as you are showing them. I want you to consider turning them into shapes and not lines. And so if I were to, for example, talk about or think about, doing this assignment, I would, hold on, let me open up Illustrator and I'll show you what I mean. So I went ahead and placed this image in Illustrator, let's assume for a second that this is my project. So here's what I would like to tell you. Number one, I would like you to use, like pen tool, right? And number two, we're not going to be dealing with, uh, you know, uh, uh, I'm sorry, I'm missing my vocabulary. We're not going to be dealing with, like grays. It's going to be mostly black or white. So let's assume that this one's going to be black, and let's create yet another one over here. Right? And so, oops. Undo that. All right, so there we go. And if you were to look at our layers panel and then make this appear, this is what you would see, right? And then in the original image, I'm also seeing some curves. I'm not going too much in detail. If your vision is, dealing with a lot of risks, go ahead and do that. But I'm just going to basically, I'll talk about how to do these things in Illustrator. This is my main fern. Let's go ahead and create a circle like this. And this one's going to be all stroke. And I'm going to increase the thickness of it significantly. Let's up all the way like this. And let's say that this is going to, cross over like so. And this is a line right now. And what I want to do is I want to turn it into a shape. So to do that, I'm going to select this shape, which is a thick line. And then I'm going into the object menu and I'm going to say expand. And so let's not do the stroke, but I want to, expand the fill. And what it is going to do is it's going to create this shape. I did the opposite. Hold on. Let's go ahead and hit expand, and let's do both of them. And so you see now it is a shape. It's no longer a line, because see, I can't increase the stroke widthness, or I can't see the stroke. Okay. And so then what would I do with this? Here's what I would do with this. Hold on. Actually, I could also create yet another shape over here, right? And let's imagine that this is going to be a white rectangular shape, and I'm overlapping things a little bit. That's fine. And I wouldn't have, but it's okay. Because I'm worried about speed, not so much accuracy right now. And so here we are, and let me go ahead and look at the layering group, and I'm seeing that this has turned into a group. I don't want it as a group, so I'm selecting the circle that I created. I'm holding Shift, Control, G as in group. That kind of creates a compound shape because it releases the how should I say it? The group. So then I'm going to select all the shapes that I have created thus far, and I'm going to look in my panel, and you see these Pathfinder operations, right? Open it up. There's this divide. So once it's divided, what you're going to see in the layers panel is this, group. So that indicates that it has turned into a group right now. So you can either ungroup all the elements, or you can double click on certain parts like this one and move this aside a bit, and then this one and move that, and this one, maybe this one wants to be white, right? And then you can go into the color and then turn that into white, and then select this original shape that was white originally. So maybe now I want to address it as like black, and maybe I want to move just a little bit like that. And I want to grab this and move it over here, grab that, and I don't know, maybe move it over here now, right? And I want it white. I don't want it black anymore. And so you see how I am creating these shapes, right? I don't want you to get stuck in creating lines. I want you to experiment with your design so that it creates a like a composition in which you're experimenting with black and white shapes, and maybe you can even have this one shape that is created and shrink it down a little bit, move it to the side, and then give it a black coloring. And there are a lot of things that you can do to create this really. Once you're done, you can double click in the empty area to get out of the isolation. So once again, what the isolation mode allows you to do is you grab this tool, you double click on an element, and you see this. That means you're working in an isolation mode. That means within the group, you can address individual shapes and elements and move around. And that is basically it, right? So I'm going to stop the illustrator. I'm going to go back to this. And again, I would like to respond to this. There's a little bit too much of a predictability with the lines going upward and slightly diagonal in these areas. Number one, I want you to think about shapes, not so much lines. Number two, there are no grays, so everything is going to be black or white. Number three, break apart the predictability, because like too many predictability is going to create boredom. So break the pattern once in a while.